Okay, my name is Tasmin and I'm the Business Development Manager at Geopace Training.
Can you give a brief outline of your career journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a degree in biochemistry from the University of Lincoln. I previously have worked for the police in a civilian role and in various healthcare positions within a hospital, the community and private mental health care. This is all before becoming the Business Development Manager for Geopace Training. My expectations for my career going forward with Geopace Training are to be successful with advancing the company, and I've been asked by my MD to work with him to establish a stronger hierarchy in respect of business development, and we do plan within the next few months to recruit a business development specialist to work alongside me to achieve those goals.
Can you give a brief description and history of Geopace Training? Like, when did you start and kind of like what you've done since then? Because obviously you said you joined as business development manager. Like, what is your history with the business and what have you done so far?
Okay, so Geopace Training was established in 2010 as a phlebotomy training provider. This was to meet the demands of specialist training within the healthcare sector. Geopace identified at an early stage really that many healthcare professionals were compromised on their continual professional development, and that in some areas they were not receiving adequate training, if they were receiving any training at all. So they quickly recognised that there was a need for training that was compliant with the UK governing bodies such as National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, which is also known as NICE, and Skills for Health. So basically the demand sort of grew as hospitals and medical institutions within the UK recognised the value of our training here at Geopace, and therefore our portfolio of courses grew with it as well. In the global pandemic, we actually pioneered virtual classroom training option for our students. Obviously with lockdown, we wanted to allow students to continue with their professional development from their homes. So we created the virtual classroom with a full training kit option available for them. This is now permanent training option for students, and it has actually received exceptional feedback. We also introduced a vaccination course. This was to support the COVID vaccination hubs, and I think to date we've trained almost 2,000 vaccinators across the UK. So this vaccination course is worth noting that it doesn't just cover the COVID vaccine, it actually covers all routes of administration, which allows students to protect patients against multiple diseases, and also be prepared for any future vaccines that are developed as well. We've also started introducing a cannulation course. We've introduced healthcare, end of life, PRP, and most recently an ECG course, which I've worked on with one of our tutors over the last few months. We've also got plans obviously to continue to expand our portfolio. I'm currently working on an advanced ECG course, and also a neonatal and paediatric course as well.
There can be challenges or problems. Can you discuss some of them you kind of faced when you were in the education industry, would you say?
Yeah, so to be honest, one of our biggest challenges has actually been with some of the sort of longer serving members of the healthcare profession, people who might not have actually adhered to a sort of structured training program before, and it's the people who have worked within that industry for such a long time, and it's been quite challenging to try and convince them really that there's a value in accredited training, but thankfully those people actually end up becoming our biggest supporters, because they tend to be the ones who are so critical of us, and then they come on the course and realise how valuable it actually is, and end up becoming the ones who actually shout about us and support us. So yes, I'd say that's probably our biggest challenge that we have.
And then what would you attribute the main reason for your success?
Well, actually, interestingly, I would say word of mouth, because up until the global pandemic in 2020, we actually had never used any form of digital marketing. So we obviously had to introduce it in 2020 due to the situation that we were in. But prior to that, our principal client base was generated through word of mouth, mainly between hospitals and GP surgeries. And so I would definitely attribute that as being the main reason for our success, really.
What would you say now to someone who is looking to enter into your industry, like the education industry, or maybe looking to do business development themselves? What would you give them as advice that you would have given your younger self?
So basically, I would say you'd have to try and ensure that the standards of training are excellent, and follow our example really by aligning yourself with existing government guidelines, and also aim to exceed those as well. So just ensure that you're following those guidelines and yeah, like I say, exceeding them.
Won one of our business awards, and you're also a finalist for another Training and Tuition Businesswoman of the Year that you won, and finalist for Coaching Businesswoman of the Year. Why did you choose specifically to enter our awards, would you say?
So I think through looking at the awards, the categories were really well aligned with our specific values, and we just felt that Business Awards UK was a really excellent platform for recognition, to be honest. So yeah, that's really the main reason that we chose to enter.
And since winning it, has it affected yourself? Has it affected the business? Like, what would you say? Have you been able to feel the effects of winning the award, or is it more an introverted thing? Like, has it affected yourself, or has it affected the business as a whole?
So I think it's been quite motivational for staff, and for all of us really as a team. You know, it's really amazing to get that recognition, and just to sometimes just step back and realise that you are doing a good job. We also use the award badges now on all our social media. We use it on our websites, staff email addresses. So, you know, I'm quite confident in the fact that will reassure our existing and our potential customers as well of our credibility in our training processes. Obviously, addition to our current credibility that we already hold on our courses, but yeah, I think that it will definitely be another reassurance that we are credible and that we're a good company.
So yeah, would you recommend Business Awards UK to other businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we really do feel that it's an excellent scheme, and also yeah, we wouldn't hesitate to recommend Business Awards UK to a business. Absolutely.
What is the next big step for yourself, your team, and the business as a whole, would you say?
So we're actually currently exploring the international market, which is quite exciting. We've recognised that actually we do get a lot of clients who attend our courses from outside of the UK, whether that's them travelling into the UK and attending our classroom sessions, or they might attend the virtual classrooms. But we have noticed that there are people out there outside of the UK that would be interested in the courses, so that's what our next step would be. We've also seen a huge increase in the number of private organisations that have asked us to train their staff members as well. So companies such as Johnson & Johnson, Care UK, many universities. We've worked with Oxford University, University of Stirling, University Hospital of Galway. Research organisations are requesting training from us as well, so such as the Defence and Science Tech Lab, Porton Down. So I think with this increase that we've seen, I think it's likely that we'll see an increase in the number of business-to-business sales as well. At least that's what we're hoping for.
Was there anything advice you'd offer up to other up and coming women in your industry or in business in general? What advice would you give them?
So my advice would be to be true to yourself. Don't rush into making decisions. Always be kind to others, because collective power is stronger than flying solo. There's a solution to every problem. Don't be afraid to take risks, and don't do anything that you actually wouldn't want to do.
No, that is fantastic advice. I think that is advice for everyone, to be honest with you, as well as anyone else. That's great advice. But thank you again so much for joining us today, Tasmin. Is there anything else you want to shout out, socials or videos or anything that you want to then tell other people about?
Check out our website. It's geopace.net. As I've already mentioned, we've got a big portfolio of courses. We have additional courses coming up throughout the end of this year and into next year. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We've got awards that we give out, prizes and things like that. But yeah, definitely follow us, and if you don't know us already, then go and have a look at what we do.